Want to take your Canva designs to the next level? In today's video, we're diving into some of the top AI apps that can transform your design process in this software. Now, Canva is not just about templates anymore. It's got a ton of AI-powered tools to help you design faster, smarter, and more creatively. And I'm going to walk you through a few of these apps, how they work, and how you can use them to boost your workflow. And now let's dive in. In this module, we're going to learn about some amazing AI tools that Canva gives us at our disposal. Now, just before we get started, I want to let you know where you can find these tools. For the very most part, simply click on apps and you can simply type in the name of the tool. So for example, one that we're going to touch upon is going to be the Magic Morph, and you can simply click and you're going to find Magic Morph over here. Now, the moment that you click on it, you're going to access this AI tool, plus you're going to see it here on the left column so that you can have it at your disposal throughout the project, even when you close the actual app window. So you can open it up by simply clicking on it. And if you want to remove any app from this sidebar, simply click on the close icon that you see over here, and it's going to be removed until you activate it again through the search option. In this video, we're going to learn how to utilize the native AI background remover in Canva. Now, this feature is extremely useful, and previously you need to have to rely on external websites like remove.io, but in Canva, it's now super easy. Simply select the image, and as you can see, you can click on background remover, and you're going to be able to remove the background just a few short seconds. And this is true also for more complex imagery or even illustrations, like in this case, where we can see how background remover is going to enable us to do just that in a very short amount of time. And the great thing is that you always have, you can even remove individually the areas that you want. So you can actually go ahead and basically upgrade the removal, or essentially select whatever you want and then essentially go ahead and remove the elements in a more manual flat fashion, or you can even restore the elements directly, as you can see right here, using this paintbrush. Then of course you can just organize it and increase or decrease the size as you can see, and even show the original image for reference so that you can go ahead and really make these selections very minute and accurate. In this video, we're going to talk about an exciting part of Canva, which is AI, and specifically Dreamlab. Now, Dreamlab is going to enable you to create some very nice looking AI assets in a short amount of time. Now, as you can see, Dreamlab is going to be accessible directly from the main home of Canva. So once you're in your main dashboard, click on Dreamlab in the left column, and you're going to be able to see some images which you can even add directly, and you can even see the prompt that has been used in order to create and generate this type of image. So this is going to give you some context as to how to create the prompt and maybe some suggestions. But nonetheless, let's start adding the prompt of the very first example, which is going to be designer that is using Canva, create an illustration which is realistic and looking professional. So I'm just creating a prompt over here, and you can see that below that you can even add an image in order to add detail to the prompt. You can decide the style. So this is going to be some very useful type of presets that you can leverage. In this case, we're probably going to go with the smart or even the cinematic concept. Let's do it like that. And we're going to utilize the aspect ratio, which is by default 16:9, although you can select your aspect ratio. And after that, we're going to click on create, and as you can see, Canva is doing its job, and it has created some really nice looking assets which we can easily copy, download on our Mac or PC, or even edit further. So we can also utilize the same options directly from here. And there is this image guidance section which allows you to reference style from an image. And coming soon, there is also the content reference, which uses the shape and structure from an image, and image to image, which reference fiber structure from an image. So depending on when you're watching this video, these are probably going to be already available. And let's click on edit so we can see the options that we have available right here. So you can see that this brings us to the original editor, and for the very most part we can leverage the lessons that we learned in the image editing video in order to bring this AI image according to our specific needs. Now let's talk about another AI feature in Canva, which is Magic Design. As you can see right here, Magic Design is an AI design generator powered by leading generative AI technology. So basically, this is going to enable you to create designs utilizing the power of AI. So let's go ahead and we're going to write, for example, slides presentation for a SaaS company, and we're simply going to keep it vague. So simply going to give the basic herbs. There's the changed to C's but we're going to just run with it. So let's see what is going to bring up even with C's. So I'm expecting some ocean themed presentation, and of course Canva is not letting us disappointed. So as you can see over here, we have these ideas for presentations, but on top of that, it's not only about the AI, because one of the cool things is that Canva also suggests us templates which are relevant to that search criteria that we did. So we can actually go ahead and browse through all the different templates, or simply select one of these. For example, this one is looking quite good, and I can go ahead and customize the template as always. So that's Magic Design, and now let's continue with some other cool features. The coolest features in Canva is the Magic Eraser. Now this is not only going to enable you to remove the backgrounds, but unwanted objects, or even erase people from photos. So let's get started and let's see how this works. So I'm going to drag and drop this image, which I found on Unsplash. And as you can see, Canva is going to load it up. And at this point, what we can do is to select the brush size. So we can basically go ahead and decide upon a brush size which is going to work well in this specific instance. So I'm actually going to just roughly try and get the basic glimpse of it, and I'm going to do it like that. Probably going to be even more precise than me, as I'm not using my magic mouse at the moment, and I'm going to basically try and capture the basic figure, and trying to capture all of the points which I need to basically go ahead and then substitute. So as you can see, not taking too long. And at this point, what I can do once I have my selection is I can go ahead and erase. And by the way, this was the first option that we have at our disposal. We can even just click, which we're going to find it to see in just a moment. You're going to likely want to use the clicker, but this is going to be an option that you might want to consider in some instances, especially where we have images which are a bit more tricky. So the result is okay. In this case, we need to do some more work on this area right here. And if we go back one step and we actually undo this, let's try this with the click. So you can see that the moment that I click, I'm going to basically auto select. So this is making our life so much easier than what we did previously. So let's try that again and see if the Canva AI is actually doing a better job at selecting and identifying which are the elements, which probably is going to work exactly as initially intended. So you can see how the click worked so much better than the brush. This is looking flawless, and now you can utilize this exact same workflow in your very own projects and edit any image that you like. We're going to talk about another great app which is available in Canva, and that is Magic Media. Now, this tool is going to enable you to create AI images directly in Canva. So just as you can see right here, you can add a prompt, which could be, for example, a designer working remotely in the mountains, and I'm going to click on generate AI image. And as you're going to be able to see in just a moment, Magic Media, it's literally doing its magic. So we're going to have a few different set of images available in just a moment. And as you can see, now we have these images. They are beautifully created. As you can see, the level of detail is very high, and also the realism that you can get from these images. And again, just like we had for the other apps, we can find Magic Media right over here. So we can literally go ahead at page and we can add the other images which have been given to us by Canva. And of course, you can always edit them. So for example, see that I like this image right here. I like the settings in the snow. I can click on generate more like this, and this is going to enable us to create more images closer to this specific style and setting. And just as you can see, we now have different ideas for these images, and we're going to essentially have the same style. We can go on and on with this. And the great thing about Magic Media is that we have the images tab right here, but there's also the graphics and even videos which are currently in beta that we can create. So there really is a lot. So for example, let's try and create a designer working in the mountains, and let's see what comes up out of this. Generate graphics. So this is going to be more of a graphics, of course, instead of like the full image, I would assume. And let's see what Canva is going to give us in just a few short moments. So the first one is this one right here, and then we have basically this illustration style, which is looking pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite stoked with this. I literally had in the past clients pay illustrators to create things like that. And the fact that you can generate it in just a few short seconds and even select the different styles. So I could even go with 3D Chrome. Let's give it a shot. Is really mind blowing, and the illustration quality is really quite good. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They're really doing some really useful things when it comes to these assets that you can generate. And as you can see over here, like this one has definitely its own twist to it. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but nonetheless, a really cool feature, which of course it's going to need to take some time to get accustomed and basically try things out, but nonetheless a tool which is given to us by Canva, which is really, really cool. Let's talk about a fun plugin, which is Magic Morph by Canva. And you can use it to enhance text or a shape by creating graphics and textures or spark creative ideas. So let's actually create something from scratch, and we're going to utilize a custom size, or actually, let's use one of the recent ones. And over here, we're going to have our classic presentation. And let's utilize the quick tutorial. So you can see that you can select an element in your design, and let's go ahead and use this one by default, which is going to be the text. And we're going to just leave it as it is for the sake of the example. And then you can describe the look. Or you can even try one of the examples that you see right here. So if I, for example, I add party balloons, we're going to notice that Canva is going to do its magic and basically apply that filter setting directly here. After a short loading time, you can see that now we can apply this effect directly over here, which looking quite cool. This is going to be very helpful in creating, especially anything which is related to creative designs. Even I'm thinking about flyers or graphic design elements in particular. And I can go ahead and create again. And let's change things up, and let's add a prompt on our hand this time. So we're going to write, create a donut-like text effect, and we're going to generate new results, see how that looks. The magic morph didn't disappoint. So as you can see here, we have kind of like a stylized version on this one, while this one here definitely feels more like something that I was expecting. So we actually got the texture, we got some sprinkles on top of it, and yeah, overall it's really cool how it generates these ideas. And you can generate multiple times if you do not find something which is relevant to the prompt, or you can always go back and just refine the prompt and play around with it, basically until you find something that is going to be helpful. Now again, magic prompt is useful for text, but you can also apply it to elements. So for example, if I select over here this circle, and I'm going to go back into magic prompt, which is going to be right here. If you cannot find it, you can always go over here, magic morph, and you're going to be able to find it in this section. And then once you open it, it's going to be available. And I'm going to write, create a basketball, which is gold. And we're going to click on Magic Morph once again and let it do its magic. And as you can see, we do have some sort of a basketball, but it's definitely not gold. So this one was a slip. Probably if I go back, which is gold and gold. So the color will look like gold. Sometimes I reuse the same requirement and sentence just to really reinforce and tell the AI exactly what they need. Sometimes it gets it at the first round, but sometimes you need to insist a little bit more. So again, it's a chat and conversation that you're having, and you're going to need to experiment a bit. So here we definitely have some golden elements, especially in these lines. And again, you can go ahead, you can create again, you can refine further prompt, and you have these elements at your disposal whenever you want directly in Canva. As designers, you appreciate how important design is, but text and textual content is just as important. And this plugin or add-on, however you want to interpret it, in Canva is going to be really helpful when it comes to text, because it's going to merge the power of AI and specifically OpenAI into Canva. So it's going to be your very own AI text generator to help you get out a first draft fast, or simply update and create outlines, brainstorm, and refine text in a short amount of time. So let's try Magic Rewrite, and we are going to see that at the very basic, we're going to have this model, which is going to prompt then the Magic Rewrite feature. Now, as you can see, you can do all sorts of different things. You can do idea brainstorms, you can generate paragraphs, case studies, business proposals, and so on and so forth. So I highly recommend you to have a quick look at these predefined prompts and structures that are going to be helpful. In this case, we're going to create a blog post. So as you can see, we have a prompt which is going to essentially do a lot of the hard work when it comes to generating the prompt for us. So in this case, we're simply going to change this to write a comprehensive, let's say 1000 words blog post title, the best UX practices in 2025, and structure the post with an engaging introduction, 10 main sections, one for each, or actually, let's remove the section part and the introduction, main sections, and add a conclusion. For each strategy, provide a detailed explanation. This is not relevant to us. So we're simply going to keep it very vague and let's say the blog post must incorporate the following call to action to view my recent YouTube video. And we're going to, we can consider using this guideline, use a conversational yet informative tone. Format each section for readability. You should use headers to separate sections, addition to table and lists where necessary. That's quite good. Conclude with thought-provoking questions. Okay, I'm going to remove the last part. So as you can see, the prompt is essentially something that you can customize and then click on generate whenever you are ready to get started. And just like magic, Magic Write is going to give us an entire blog post in just a few seconds. So this is quite good, but you can also generate more ideas, and you can also text and say, for example, can you change it to 2026? And as you can see, this is going to make edits to what it already created. So we can easily update and literally have a conversation with AI saying whatever we feel it's going to be more better update for the text. And once we're happy, we can either click on copy over here, and this is going to essentially copy the text, or we can click on insert or use the enter keyboard shortcut. And just like magic, we have our newly created blog post, which is in Canva, of course, and it's ready to be updated and adjusted. Now, the cool thing about Magic Rewrite is that we always have it here at our disposal, and you can create all sorts of different things. So let's delete this, and we're going to utilize Magic Rewrite in a different way, just to show you what you can do. So for example, let's remove the entire prompt, and I'm going to ask, can you create an outline for a presentation about the latest and latest redesign of the Apple website? And this could be maybe like a project that you worked on. You can give more input and guidance as to what you need to mention, who is the target market, who you need to present to, what is the format. So you can see how this can be quite in-depth and extensive as you work on it. Then click on generate. And as you can see, just like magic again, we're going to have this presentation outline, which is going to help us basically summarize all of these elements. And then we can go ahead and create a presentation directly in Canva utilizing these assets. So quite good, quite useful. You can also use it, for example, to proof check what you already have, and you can also improve, maybe change the tone, change the way that it's written. So you can really do a lot with Magic Rewrite, which is of course partnered with OpenAI in the sense that they're strictly using the OpenAI technology, and that is definitely a great asset to have in your toolbox.